When it comes to nuclear power nations, countries like USA, Russia, and India come to our mind. We all know how nuclear energy can solve the energy crisis problem at a very large level. Considering the importance of nuclear need, countries of Europe also started to build their nuclear plants after France. So in this video, we will talk about how Finland has finally managed to solve the world's biggest nuclear problem that other countries were not able to solve yet. Yes, countries like USA and Russia and India are also not able to provide a solid solution for this particular problem. What was the problem and how Finland has managed to resolve it? Let's find out in this video, so watch it till the end. When we think about the nuclear world, the countries in Nordic nations don't come to our mind. But things have changed as Finland has emerged as the first Nordic nation to step forward in the nuclear field. It will be a game changer for not only Finland but for Europe, as well as they will stand in second position in Europe, just after France in terms of using nuclear energy and extracting it from the nuclear system. So, it all started in 2005 when Finland started to build the most advanced nuclear reactor in Europe. It was not only about the reactor, but also they were trying to find a solution about what needed to be done with the amount of nuclear fuel available in the country. After more than 10 years of delays and so much money spent, finally, the happiest country in the world will be joining the special league in the world, the League of Destruction, with the planet's most advanced nuclear reactor. Also, it will start a new era of nuclear power. Let's go back in time to when things were different. Finland has a long history with the nuclear power. Their first reactor came online in 1977, and by the 1980s they have 3 more such reactors that were made to complete Finland's 1/3 of total energy needs. Reactors were among the most efficient reactors in the world, running at 95% capacity factor for the past decade, and it was doing well in their life cycle. Finland was so much dependent on imports from Russia and Sweden to balance their energy needs by looking at their growing demand and the depletion of their other renewable sources like hydro and solar. So, Finland needs to decrease its dependence on foreign energy. And for this, Finnish government approved the construction of the world's first third generation pressurized water reactor ERP at its Olkiluoto nuclear plant, known as OL3, in 2005. It was built with an initial cost of 3.9 billion US dollar. After that, Finland decides to double its plant's existing output and provide 14% of Finland's energy needs after making their third generation reactor operational by 2010. But while OL3 was the first EPR to begin construction, the Finland reactor was ahead of other next generation reactors like in France, China, and UK. But there were other problems as well, like its complex design, defects in safety system, and contractual disputes. All of these was the reason that led to the delays for almost 10 years. After that, in 2018, China's Taishan 1 became the first EPR reactor in world to start operating. Despite these delays and cost of over 10.25 billion US dollar, OL3 was given the green signal to operate by Finland's Radiation and Nuclear Safety Authority (STUK) in 2019, and in March 2021, 116 tons of uranium started to be loaded into the reactor ahead of its final testing phase. We all know that nuclear power is an incredible clean way to produce energy, but it does create a byproduct. And it's the one problem that no other country has ever solved this problem. After 3 to 6 years, the Finland reactor also faced these problems like irradiated material in the reactor can no longer sustain a reaction as a viable fuel source and needing now material to maintain the reactor's efficiency. The reactor was not able to generate electricity and spent fuel remains highly radioactive. It needs to be isolated for hundreds of years to prevent it from causing harm to people. Although spent fuel can be re-enriched and re-enter the fuel cycle. Let us show you how today's countries are dealing with radioactive waste. They just simply store it in sealed dry storage facilities while it slowly decays. We can clearly see that these methods are not the all-time solution for containing nuclear waste like this, and it does not require mechanical and human intervention. Here is a fact for you. With an estimated 250,000 tons of high-level waste already in storage around the world and with no long-term strategy for dealing with it, many countries have chosen to completely rule out nuclear power when it comes to meeting their growing energy needs. To solve this problem, since 2005, Posiva, a joint venture between Finland's two nuclear power providers, has been constructing the world's first deep geological repository for spent fuel in the billion-year-old bedrock not far from OL3. Back then, it was funded by charges collected from consumers through electricity sales. This $1 billion project is yet to be completed in 2023 and will see a series of tunnels extended half a kilometer below ground, creating a permanent disposal facility for spent fuel. It was totally based on KBS-3 as a Swedish disposal method. The irradiated material is placed into boron steel canisters and closed within corrosion-resistant copper capsules before being buried in individual holes and backfilled with bentonite clay, entombing it forever. Once it is buried, no further mechanical or human intervention is required to contain the radioactive payload. This solution does eliminate the biggest barrier that many other countries have faced when it comes to adopting nuclear power. Finland has been able to solve the biggest ever nuclear problem that other countries were facing, and it is a game changer in the field of nuclear technology, said by Industry Director of International Atomic Energy Agency (IAEA). Now Finland has shared their technology with other nuclear-able countries too. I hope you have liked this information. For more interesting videos, follow and subscribe now, and make sure to share them. Stay connected and be updated.